Hey everyone, 3D Painter here, doing something a little different for you guys. I went out and bought the Black Widow by Spectrum. This is sold by Harbor and Freight, and I want to be clear, I bought this with my own money. I am not necessarily endorsing Harbor Freight or this airbrush or any other airbrushes I use. I just thought I'd check this thing out so you guys can check it out with me before you go out and buy it. So first off, we'll go ahead and check out the packaging. It's pretty nice. Good clean box. And go ahead and open this up. I have not opened this yet, so you guys are checking this out with me first time. So get rid of that. All right, first off, first impression, put the directions away for now. Pretty nice case, comparable to other cases there. Not really sure how we open it. Okay, oh, so you just pull this little lever and open it up at the same time. Nice presentation. I'm impressed. Got some good protective foam. All the parts are easy to access for the most part. This looks like our 0.2 millimeter nozzle, used only with, or 0.2 millimeter needle, and you only want to use that with a 0.2 millimeter air cap. Looks like they included some lubricant, which probably shouldn't need. Oh, quick release. That's nice. It's the kind with the flat washer, so it's pretty sweet. Set that aside for now. And then we got two different size cups. Those were a little tough to get out of there, but well packed. Each of these cups has a little washer there and the paint cap. Those will be easier to take off once we get them on the airbrush itself. And this looks like our nozzle, so set that aside. Here's our other paint cap. This is the big paint cup here, also with its own washer and air cap. Not chrome, but looks nice. Hopefully that's easy to clean out. I like the little spider web on that. It's a nice touch. And then we've got the airbrush itself. It looks like they put a little protective rubber thingamajigger on here. Try to pull that off. You just got to kind of work it off there. It's a pretty big air cap there. Kind of just a protective cap for the needle. And then got our nozzle and trigger. Test the trigger here and see how that feels. It's a little stiff, but I mean, brand new airbrush, that's kind of to be expected. We'll definitely be using the quick release on that, so let's go ahead and put that on there right now. That's the good kind. I like it. And yeah, so the other needle is already inside the airbrush. You don't have to install that. We'll set this aside for now. So let's go ahead and take this apart real quick and break it down and see what there is to see. Can't tell if this air cap is screwed on. Yeah, it's screwed on. Okay, there's our needle right there. That's our 0.3 millimeter needle that comes with this set. I'm gonna set this well, actually I'm gonna keep it on there just in case I drop it. But yeah, let's go ahead and break this down and see what we're looking at here. So we'll start with the nozzle. Take that off. Oh, look at that. It's a drop-in nozzle. Pretty cool. Got our washer on there. A little difficult to get out of the housing. I don't want to pull that gasket off. Does it screw out? It's hard to tell. Huh. Okay. This is what happens when you don't read instructions. I don't like reading instructions though. Didn't come with any tools or anything, so we'll just set that nozzle aside for now. Take a look at the other parts. Okay, this doesn't come off. This is our air adjuster. That's very tight. Ooh, that's really tight on there. I don't know about that. Actually, I almost need a tool to loosen that up. Out of the factory, that should come kind of hand tight. Yeah, ow. That's brutal. And this is used to adjust airflow. Okay, now it's moving a little easier. Now that I've loosened it up. No wonder why they gave us some lubricant. All right, let's check out the back end here. Get this unscrewed. So this looks like, I don't know if this is functional. Yeah, it is functional. So this is our stopper, you know, to adjust our paint flow with the trigger. That's pretty handy. And there's no tension adjuster on the needle itself. It's a little stiff, but like I said, you know, we'll break it in over time. Let's go ahead and check out our needle. This is the 3 needle. Oh, look at that. They actually marked the needle, so you can tell. So it's got like 3 dashes on it or something. Pretty beefy needle here. Okay, one thing I'm not liking is it's nice if they have like a good convex or concave, you know, like a funnel on the insert portion of the needle tensioner. This one's, you're gonna want to be careful getting that needle back in. Okay, right there I can feel that's our washer inside. There's a little washer right about there. Okay, go ahead and put that through. Yeah, it feels pretty good. So overall, the breakdown's nice. Boy, they really factory tightened this. I should be able to get to the trigger here real easily, but I'm literally gonna need a tool to pull this off. Let's get our pliers here. I'll use a paper towel. I don't want to damage anything. Just to at least get it loose. Here we go. Put that aside. So this is gonna unveil our trigger assembly here. Nice spring, good tension on that. And here's our trigger. It's very much like the Harder and Steenbeck triggers, kind of the same design. It's good grip on there. They went with a more square. I like that it's a single piece. So overall, first impression, it's a pretty decently well-made airbrush. I like it so far. We'll just see how it puts back together again. All right, that's good. Feels good. I still, I'll wait. I'm not gonna mess with this nozzle for now. We'll just keep it in there and see how it goes. And yeah. Okay. Back to putting our needle in. So again, you want to be careful not to bend the tip of your needle when you're putting it in there. And there we go. Tighten that back up. Put our back end on. Lines up pretty nice. I like to use smaller cups typically when I'm painting, especially detailed work. So I'm just going to use the small cup for now. It doesn't really matter. You guys can use whatever you want. But yeah, looks pretty good. Here's our other nozzle. We'll just take a look at that real quick. This is, oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but they actually marked the nozzle. It's the 0.2. Maybe these don't come out. Oh, this one's coming out. Okay. All right. And they got a 3-chamber on that nozzle. I'm assuming the other one looks the same. That goes in nice. I actually like this air cap better than the other one with the crown on it. I like to be able to see my needle when I'm working. Let's see if we can get that off. I want to see if they are interchangeable. Set that aside so we don't mix these two up. I kind of wish this part didn't have threads on it. That's just me. I like being able to, I work a lot without the air cap on when I'm airbrushing. I like to keep mine a little to the side so I can see. I like to see that needle. I want to know where that needle's at. With time, you get to get used to it and stuff, but for me, I like to be able to see the needle. But anyhow, they are interchangeable, so that's a plus. I like that. Just leave it like that for now. Let's set this one aside. I'm glad that they marked the nozzles, so you're not gonna mix them up at all. And these little nozzle cases are pretty handy too. And I'm not gonna complain about that. So let's hook her up to a hose and see how she fares. My trusty little No Name. Right off the bat, I'm not hearing any air leaks. I'm not sure what my pressure's set to right now. Let's crank it up. There we go. Now we got some good flow. Good flow now. Okay. Let's check out how she sprays. I always test my airbrush, even the ones I use all the time. This is just me, but I like to run either some water or some IPA through them before I start spraying. So in this case, I'm going to use water. It's atomizing pretty well, like that. It's got a good, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got good spray. All right, well, that feels pretty good. We'll go ahead and dump that, clean that out, and we'll put some paint in here just to mess around with it and see how it draws some lines. Use some Corvus Black, and this is just going to be straight out of the bottle test. This is what I'm not going to thin this out at all. I'm not sponsored by Citadel, by the way, so this is just the first paint I grabbed. All right, it has already been mixed, and we'll get a fresh napkin. Isn't the best thing to test on because it's gonna make the paint look weird right off the bat, but what the hell. Just a little bit of paint in there. This is almost like a gray. It's a nice black. Yeah, good wide line right there. Got nice coverage. This airbrush actually has a really decent feel for it, even up close. Yeah, this actually feels pretty nice. You get some good even lines there. It's not spitting. Needle looks good. Now, comparing it to my standard workhorse, which lately has been my the Harder and Steenbeck Evolution CR Plus. The case is much bigger. aesthetically pleasing, just like the Evolution. I'm just running this paint through it. I really want to see how it cleans out. I know I'm trailing off. I was going to compare it to the Evolution. You know, I wouldn't even call this a beginner's airbrush so much as an intermediate. Just mainly based on price point. This particular model was $80, $89 at Harbor Freight is what they normally charge for it. And it, so far from what I'm able to tell, it's able to keep up pretty well. Okay, so for cleaning, this guy gets in the way. I don't usually use airbrushes with the air adjustment on there, so we'll just clean this pot out or this cup out real quick. I'm not getting any bubbles in the cup at all, so we're not leaking air or anything. That's good. Let's go ahead and take that out. So I'm going to go clean this real quick and kind of give you guys an overall review at that point. Be right back. All right, so I got this guy all cleaned out. I'm going to say that my final judgment / review on this Spectrum Black Widow airbrush. It's a great airbrush for intermediate and beginner users. It's the trigger action feels nice. We're getting some good lines, different types of flow, you know, up close. I haven't tried the other needle out, the 0.3 millimeter, but based on the way the 0.2 performed, I'm gonna say the 0.3 is obviously gonna have bigger lines. It's gonna work nice. The packaging is fantastic on it. They've got the needle really well protected. The case is great. I would recommend this airbrush for anyone getting into airbrushing, or you know, if you just need a cheaper airbrush to accomplish a task. This is a great deal for what you pay for. And that being said, you know, keep in mind you do get what you pay for. I've been airbrushing for, recently, just for the last couple of years, but more or less for the better part of 30 years I've been using airbrushes. I have this cheap Master airbrush. This came with a set of 3 airbrushes of different sizes and makes, 2 gravity feed and then another one with a siphon feed. $150 came with a cheap air compressor. These are the cheap end of cheap end airbrushes. I had to put the thread tape in the threads to keep the air from flowing out. I was getting bubbles. You get what you pay for. This being kind of a mid-level airbrush for $89, $90 for everything it comes with, is a fantastic deal. I would recommend this to my friends and family. It's worth its price point. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. Now, comparing it up to like a $200 airbrush or $300 airbrush, Harder and Steenbeck's. This is the Infinity CR Plus 2024 edition. This is Harder and Steenbeck Evolution CR Plus. It stacks up nicely with these airbrush performance. These guys do a little bit more. You can get a little more detail on them. Again, ease of cleaning and everything is pretty comparable. But yeah, I mean, overall, I would say this is definitely a worthy airbrush to purchase if you're just getting into airbrushing, or even if you're a professional like myself. This is definitely a fantastic buy. I can see myself using this for a lot of different projects. Even just having a needle, a 0.2 millimeter needle on the fly ready to go. This is going to be in my arsenal. Yeah. Anyways, if you like what you saw here, please like and subscribe to my channel. Going to be doing more and more as we grow the channel. I'm just trying to make things better and more helpful for you guys every single day. If you guys have any questions or comments, please go down to the comment section and comment or question away. I'm generally really good about getting back to everybody. And again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you being here. Love you much. Happy 3D printing. Happy painting. Cheers.